Right, here's the prototype of the honey harvester that Ron has put together. Added feature is a lock that makes it all tight, doesn't come undone. Works here. We've got down here replacement plates for the three-quarter frames. They go, you just replace these ones, which are full-size frames, with that one for the three-quarter. Now we'll start with we'll call it the problems, or the part that isn't perfect. To begin with, I'll just move these. That gap there is just a little bit too tight. So what I found it was doing was shaving the frames as it went down. That's the plastic shavings. So that means obviously that it's a tiny bit too tight. So what I did, I could have moved the plates down by making the bolt holes a little bit longer. But all I've done is I've got a couple of tiny magnets. You see these things here, tiny little magnets. Don't know if you can see that, but that holds those open a little. And they're only they'd be about maybe 2 mils. That acts as a stopper so they can't go back any further. And that, so it's locked, so that's solid, and this is a flexible one. So that's one small problem. The second small thing is we've got, the bottom has got a bit of a funnel and it's rounded. Felt it easier to use round buckets because that's the industry standard rather than the square ones. That fits in there, but as you can see there, bees, when you're out in the apiary, the bees can fly in there, so we've got to come up with some method of blocking that off. And one method would be to have a spare lid with the shape of the base, that funnel cut in here. That's one way. There's lots of different ways of doing it. Now this honey is last year's honey. It's been sitting outside all winter with a hive mat on the top and bottom, so the bees don't rob it. So it's a bit yucky, and I'll end up using this as bee feed. And the temperature outside is single figures, so it's under 10 degrees outside. So I just had these inside to try and soften them up. And this is the very first frame I put through. It's looking bloody good. All the way down. I didn't get the very top, so I'll turn it over and do it again. So that's still very weak. I think I might have the gap. My magnets that I put there to make the gap might be just a tiny bit too big. Let's pretend we're out in the field, and I'll do a second one. I'm just looking while I'm doing this. I can push it straight down if I want it. I'm just observing everything, because that's the second frame that I've ever put through it. And I'll do the same thing, just this top bit I didn't get, and now I have got it. Shall I do one more for fun? Yeah, one more for fun. This one's... No, I won't do... Oh yeah, well, bugger it. Ugh, now it's tight, I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. Tight. Don't know what's going on with that one. Ugh. I can't see why that's not going down. That's right, that's right. Oh, just a tight spot. Some of these frames may be warped. I noticed that with my test ones. The frames themselves were a little bit warped. Tip it up. What a bloody ugly mess. Whoop. So, I won't do any more. The bottom, the funnel on the bottom is shaped like that, so the honey will all drip off, and the wax. And I put it into a bucket with a gate on it, because it makes the next phase the filtering, and I'm building myself a honey press that's just a little bit smaller in diameter than this bucket, not much, it's about that big, and I'm using a hydraulic press to push the honey to press the wax honey mix. So now inside here, I'll just tell you, there is no crap at all. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of wax on this corner over here. The rest of it, it's all just flown through. This prototype is zinc coated mild steel. The next one is going to be made a little bit lighter and out of stainless, because this is just a prototype. And like I say, this gap here is probably 1/2 mil too wide, like I've got it now, without the magnets that I've got down here, down in there. Without those magnets, it's probably about 1 mil too narrow. That was, moved them out of the way. That gap there was too narrow. That's a tiny bit less than the plastic frames. So done like this, we've got no plastic frame shavings gone into the honey. Everything has worked well. One of the things, these frames are manky, horrible things, which I wouldn't ever try and harvest that for human consumption. Like, they've been out there and all dirty, and there was a lot of condensation in this box when I bought it inside. So they're just ugly things, but that they'll do for the demonstration. So the thing works, and it works, I think, brilliantly. It's awesome. Okay, that's Bruce from ABBs.